Hello, welcome to Forces of Destruction. This will be a 1,000 point game, battle report against German versus American. This is a quick overview of the tabletop before rolling for the scenario. Kind of have a destroyed house, not considered a house, just a ruin. Little wheat field with some fencing and hedging around it. Didn't do the crossroads in the middle of the table this time, just kind of put it off to the side. Got some wooded areas there, a hill, and then kind of a small little village over to the right. That way, split the board up. Still make a crossroads, but not in the center of the table. Should be kind of fun. Got some hedges and whatnot over on that side as well. And then just a view from the other side of the board, and quite a decent amount of terrain. The middle is kind of open again. I don't know if it's just something I end up doing. I have to keep trying to do different terrain. So here's my army list. 1,000 point German. Got a SDKFZ 234/1 heavy armored car. Got the Pioneer half track with the Panzerbuch 41 in it. Got a Panzer IV B to F. It's got the light howitzer in it. So medium tank, and then two of the kind of armored car, or not armored cars, but 7-up armored vehicles. I got a first lieutenant, so he's got the +2. It's called Ober Lieutenant, and then one extra guy. And this is my Pioneer squad. I've been taking them the last few games. They've been doing real well. So it's 8 guys. I think I got 5 submachine guns in there, plus a submachine gun on the NCO. So 6 submachine guns, a flamethrower, and there's 1 rifle who's the helper for the flamethrower. I've got some painting done on my guys, but haven't got to the basing yet. And this is going to be a veteran Grenadier squad. It's got 2 assault rifles, 3 Panzerfaust, and then the rest are rifles. Just trying to put a couple assault rifles in there, but I'm not going crazy with like a whole squad of assault rifles. And then I also have a medic. Started painting up. And then an attendant with the medic. I don't really have a model for that yet, so I'm just using that unpainted lieutenant. And then I'm taking a light artillery gun, inexperienced. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. And I'm also taking a light mortar team, just because me and my buddy were talking. He was kind of saying, why would anybody take a light mortar? And I figured I'm gonna give it a shot. It can move and fire. It's a small team. I'm just gonna give them a try. I kind of modeled those up. It's like an extra guy from a half track, and another thing there. I made a mortar. And then I've got a sniper team, and then my last group here is a Grenadier squad, 8-man Grenadier squad, 2 assault rifles, 2 Panzerfaust. So I've got 3 infantry units, some vehicles, a sniper. So that's my list. See how it does. I've got 11 dice total. This is our first game at 1,000 points, so it should be kind of interesting. It should be fun. So let's see if I can get a look at my army, my opponent's army. He's playing the Americans. This is our first time playing 1,000 points, so wasn't quite sure what he's going to bring. Had a rough idea since we've been collecting miniatures together. These Americans here, he's got a second or a first lieutenant with an attendant, and he's got a unit of airborne. One of the 2 units, I guess the first one is Rangers. He's got a unit of Rangers, and then a unit of airborne. So 2 units of veteran, and he's got a medium mortar, a medium machine gun, a medium howitzer, a jeep set up for transport, a Chaffee light tank with the Reese rule, and then he's got 2 squads of regular infantry. So yeah, 4 squads of infantry and a couple support items, so it should be very interesting. Then we pull the scenario, and I'm defending, hold until relieved. So I'm defending the bridge, and I roll, and he wins the roll, and he chooses to be the attacker. So I split my units into reserve and first wave. First wave, I have the Panzer and the howitzer and a few support, and a support unit of veteran infantry. And I put 1 regular infantry within 6 inches. We make this a bridge with the stone sides. This is the objective that we're trying to protect, I guess, from the Allies they're going to try to capture this due to maybe some rainy weather coming in. We're going to try to blow it up or something. But and then I put my armored car off to the side of it, since it has an armor rating of 7 or less. And then he starts to put his guys in, and he's got his rangers there behind that house, behind that building. He's got his medium mortar back there by the roadside, a unit of regular infantry, his lieutenant, and then his airborne infantry, and then his howitzers back there. And you can see through these woods and stuff, but he's got a regular infantry unit, and then up in that house window, that destroyed building window, he's got his medium machine gun. Pretty far off to the side, not a lot of field of fire, but so then we place spotters and whatnot, and I put my sniper right here to kind of cover the crossroads, kind of keep these rangers off my flank. And he puts his observer, and then his observers in that building, and then his rangers do their bonus move and move in there. I move my armor car first, roll the first dice, and actually move it across the bridge, do 2 turns, and drive back this way. And I fire my light autocannon at that howitzer, and I'm able to hit it, but I don't do any wounds, I don't believe. My second unit, I activate my regular infantry there, and I fire at his rangers in that building. And I believe I'm able to put a pin on. He activates his next dice, and he runs these regular infantry down the edge of this wall through the wheat field and out towards the bridge area. And then his next dice, he fires a heavy, or his medium howitzer, spotting for them, and he needs a 6 and he misses. So that's good. Don't need 2d6 hits on me, and I can't go down. I already fired. Oh, that's just a picture of the mortar, or the howitzer, where it came from. Trying to show the indirect fire in this match is, it's always kind of tricky. It's like, show it. I fire my sniper, and I fire at the rangers, and I'm able to score a hit, which wasn't the hard part, and to wound. The way we read the rule is that you ignore gun shields. I assume you ignore housing too, but I still need a 5, and I'm able to score 5, and I shoot the NCO. So no NCO on the rangers, and that's his second pin. So yeah, I did get 1 pin on there. He's got his pins along the side of the house there. He runs these guys up here behind this rubble destroyed building, pressuring towards the center of the table. And then I start bringing a couple of my first wave units on, and I bring my Panzer IV right down the roadway, advance order, and I'm able to fire. And I go ahead and I continue picking on the rangers. I fire my whole mounted machine gun at the rangers, and I don't score any hits, but needing, I think, a 5. Normally 3, move 4. Yeah, and then the hardcover 6, I roll 6. So I hit with my howitzer, and I do 2 wounds, and I'm able to put an additional pin on. I move my veteran infantry up. I got 3 Panzerfausts in there, 2 assault rifles. They run down the road, kind of follow the Panzer. And then he fires with his airborne. They advance up the top of the hill, and they're right around 24 inches away, and he puts a bunch of shots on me, like 12 shots. He actually rolls super great, and he kills 3 dudes. So that wasn't too good. I fired my howitzer at those rangers, and I believe I fire indirect because I'm kind of firing within an inch of my guys, and I miss with that. Fire my light mortar, or actually bring the light mortar on, and I take a little pot shot at those guys coming out of the wheat field, and I miss, needing a 6. And then his lieutenant just advances a little farther up, heading kind of heading towards the rangers a little bit. You can see the picture of his airborne there on the top of that hill. They really rolled great hitting that unit, and then this is his mortar, I believe, firing at my sniper. Yes, he needed a 6 and he rolled a 5. So he's trying to He's kind of realizing that sniper can be a nasty little dude up there. And then these are just reserves. I have dice left, so I start putting dice on my reserves while he kind of completes the rest of his turn. He's got his Chafee, all his infantry was on, and his Chafee and his Jeep have to be in reserve, which, you know, I think he was planning to put his lieutenant in that Jeep, but the scenario, he has to put all his infantry on the board, and then so his vehicles come in reserve. So this is my reserve stuff. And he tries to rally his Rangers. He's got 3 pins on there and a dead NCO, and so he needs a 6. Leadership 10 normally, -4, and he rolls 7. So he didn't rally his Rangers. That's good news for me. And then his medium machine gun just kind of realized he doesn't have a whole lot to shoot at, and he just goes into an overwatch, or what do they call it, ambush. And that's the end of turn 1. I'm going to go to this quick video here. Alright, that ends turn 1. We're going into turn 2. Got my first wave on the board. Got the Rangers pinned down pretty good. Their NCO snipered off. My armored car is just kind of hanging out on the bridge. Got a lot of infantry advancing towards my position. The only damage I took was this unit here. Got hit 3 times and 3 guys died. 4 up. But yeah, I got some reserves that can start coming in this turn. My half track and all my stuff. But the Americans have reserves too. They have a Jeep and a tank. So got to try to get my stuff out of the way before the tank comes in. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. How about you, Ron?
Well, my Rangers, my Rangers, a bit of a disappointment. Being veteran and all that, they still took several pins in the building. Your shooting was exceptional.
Well, yeah,
that always helps. The rally was that 1 dot too many to be able to remove those pins. Everything else is kind of falling into place for me, what I'm thinking I want to do. I'm just waiting for the tank and Jeep to get on. Due to the scenario, the Jeep kind of lost its usability. I was going to transport my lieutenant on that, but due to the scenario rules, that's all right. You know, it doesn't change a whole bunch. It just puts another dice in the bag, which is fine. Got the machine gun on ambush. Turn 1, other than the pinning, I didn't take very much. Got 3 guys off of yours. My Rangers, a bit of a disappointment so far. We'll see if it goes with the rest of the game.
Alright, going to turn 2. Turn 2, I pull the first dice, and I know his tank is going to come on. So I go ahead and I move my Panzer up to point blank on the Rangers, and now I've kind of positioned it so I could block the road up to keep that tank from just driving through here. I know he's going to come in. I know he's going to shoot me. I think I got a 50-50 chance of survival if he hits. He's +4 or +5 penetration. I have a 9 armor. So I do fire, and I'm able to fire my whole amount of machine gun, and I put a pin on there, and I kill 1. And I go ahead and I shoot my howitzer at the dudes inside there, and I think I miss. I don't remember. I think I missed with the howitzer, like point blank. Fire my light howitzer at his airborne up there. Looks like I rolled 2. So I missed the airborne advancing towards the bridge. And then I pull another dice, so it's 3 dice in a row for me. And so I kind of, these guys pass their order check and they move into the ground floor of that building. And they run into there. And I pull another dice, so I'm pulling all these dice now. Fire my light mortar at that infantry squad, and I'm able to hit it, needing a 5. And I kill a guy. So I put a pin on there and kill a guy. Right there, kill that squad. So yay for the light mortar. They score almost their points cost, and 1 guy I'm putting a pin on there, so that's good. And then I pull another dice. So at this point, I really didn't want to pull all these dice. I want to see what I'm going to do with my half track. So I fire my sniper, and I go ahead and I aim for the airborne. And I'm able to put a pin on there, but I don't kill the NCO. I was aiming for the NCO, and I don't believe I killed it. And so I pull another dice. I'm like, well, shit balls. So I drive this armored car right over here, and I'm going to go ahead and let him have it. And I just fire, I think, my medium machine gun, put another pin on there, and I do kill another guy. So 2 pins on that unit. If he tries to charge me, I can re-see away. And he starts pulling dice. You know, he's got a bunch of dice in a row, probably. And he fires his mortar at the building, needing a 5 this turn, and misses with a 4. And then he fires his howitzer at the building, and he rolls a 1, so he misses. He's firing at the sniper and whatnot in there. And then I go ahead and move my veteran infantry squad up. I advance them. I probably should have ran them in hindsight and got them out of the way of the half track, but I just advanced and I shoot at the Rangers. And my tank kind of outdistanced me, you know, but I probably should have ran up behind the tank a little more to the left and left room for my half track, but I didn't. I wanted to get some more shooting, and I do actually get another pin on the Rangers. So they got 5 pins and their NCO's dead. So not a very good chance that the Rangers are going to be doing anything anytime soon. So I pull my dice and I bring my half track and I just head it in. I just run order it, and I move it in up there behind the bridge. So then he pulls the dice, and it's Chafee, and I made my check by barely to bring that half track in with the -1. So Chafee comes in, point blank range, fires, hits, and he penetrates it, rolls and then rolls a 5 result and blows the lid off the Panzer. But you know, I knew that was going to kind of happen. At least I got the road blocked up. These guys advance up to here, and they start shooting at my veteran infantry unit that's kind of in the crossroads. He doesn't kill anybody, but he does put a pin on them. And this game, you know, it's all about the pins. Things can change so quickly in a turn when you fail an order check. And right there's a good example. He tried to activate his unit, and he rolled a foobar, and he has to run away from my armored car. So that was nice. It's a whole infantry unit that had to beat feet away. His airborne, they just run this turn. They're looks like he's going to make a push for the center. Didn't really have a very good target for them, and they just run. And then his lieutenant, I believe that's a picture of his lieutenant running back behind the Chafee, behind this building, try to help the Rangers out with this +2. And his Jeep comes on, and he doesn't really have much to do with the Jeep at this point, so he just drives it in. And then that is pretty much wrapping up the turn. Tries to rally his Rangers, and he rolls a 7, so he fails. I don't believe what he needed. CB leadership 10, 5 pins, it'd be a 5. NCO did 4, and then +2 for the lieutenant, so 6. He needed a 6, and he rolled a 7. So that's 2 turns in a row that the Rangers failed their rally check by 1. So here, go to the video. That's the end of turn 2. Rangers failed to rally. The Chafee came in and blew up my Panzer. I kind of knew that was going to happen. There wasn't a lot I could do about it, so I was hopeful that it would just bounce off or not kill me. But at least I parked where I can kind of deny him the road. He has to leave the roadway. Got Rangers, or not Rangers, Airborne coming up here, pushing towards the objective. You got a nice foobar there. Flood those guys off. Yeah, it's getting a little intense in here. We've got about equal amount of manpower.
Right.
So, what are you thinking there, Alan?
Well, I was sure glad the Chafee did what it was supposed to do. The regular infantry that the howitzer or the Panzer shot at only lost one, and removed that pin with their advance order. You know, they weren't able to put any wounds on that infantry unit coming up the road. You know, disappointed still in the Rangers, but that's a lot of pins to overcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Pins, and then the NCO being dead.
Yeah, right.
We got your lieutenant over there to try to
right.
encourage them onward.
The howitzer and mortar, you know, they're still trying to do the building. We've, you know, come to a gentleman's agreement on the building.
Yeah, because it's
firing
indirect, shooting at the building. Since there's things on the top and the bottom, they're not actually targeting the unit; they're just targeting the building. That's fine. I mean, 6 1/2 does another kind of. Other than if I move my stuff around, yeah, it's no big deal.
Right.
But yeah. Alright, looks like going to be a battle for the bridge here pretty soon.
Battle for the bridge, yeah.
Got quite a few turns left. That's only into turn 2.
Yeah, that's only into turn 2.
Don't want to have everybody dead and
turn 3.
one person holding onto the bridge. Yeah. Alright, so going to start turn 3. Starting turn 3, I pull the first dice, and I'm very aggressive with my half track with the Panzerbusch 41 on it. I advance it, I just run over this bush since it's a half track. And I fired his Chaffee. I announced, and I was kind of thinking he might recede away and out of the way, and then he'd have to go down. So I was so aggressive because I want the +6 if he doesn't, because the Panzerbusch 41 has +6 penetration within 12 inches, and he elects to stand fast. He doesn't recede away, and I need a base 3 moved 4. Yeah, so what, I need a 4 to hit? Seems like I needed more than... Oh, I had 2 pins on me. No, I didn't have any pins on me this turn. Or, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think I have any pins on me. And I miss. So, crap. That was my chance to knock the Chaffee out. He kindly returns fire. And he scores a hit. And he penetrates me. And he penetrates me. That sounded good. He penetrates my vehicle, but he rolls a on fire result. So it's an additional pin, and I'm able to pass my check, and I put the fire out. So that was good for me. That would have been horrible if that would have blew up and all the guys have to bail out with additional hits. So I'm very fortunate that I don't really care about the car. I just didn't want everyone to be blasted and have to go down if it was immobilized. So I pull the next dice, and I pass my order check with my lieutenant, shoving guys out the door. So they have 1 pin marker on them, and I can only get to about there on an advance order and let loose on the Ranger or the airborne, and I fire a bunch of submachine guns at them, and I throw a flamethrower template down on them, and yeah, not really able to do a whole lot of damage. I did 1 pin marker with the hit and an additional 1 pin marker with the flamethrower, and I only did 1 hit with the flamethrower, and then out of all my submachine guns and whatnot, not really able to do a whole lot of damage. He's got a dice marker there. He may have went down, but yeah, so my lieutenant comes out, so he passes his check. He's only got 1 pin marker, and he's in a position that's safe there and can still influence everybody in the 6-inch bubble. And so then he takes the next dice, and he actually surprises me quite a bit. I assumed these guys were going to just nestle into those windows and start letting me have it. But he gets super aggressive, and he advances around the edge of that and comes right out here to get point blank range. So he's going to be hitting he was shooting at my engineers. He's deathly afraid of that flamethrower, and I don't blame him for that. And he rolls an exceptional damage, and he's able to take the flamethrower off, but he only kills 2 guys. So he's got, what, 10 shots, point blank. I can't go down or nothing because I've already activated. But needing 5s to kill a veteran, you know, that's nice. So again, another game, second game in a row where my Pioneers are just standing in the open, taking shots from everywhere and doing exceptionally well. I advanced my regular unit out of the bottom of that building that's been getting targeted by howitzers and mortars, and I just come out and I take a few shots at his regulars that are now kind of exposed. I'm able to score hit, and I think I put a pin on there, but I don't think I kill anyone. But yeah, this is a point blank street fight here, and so it's like, wow, it escalated quickly, and I'm running. I mean, I have units to match this stuff, but I'm paranoid that the Rangers are going to rally, and then I'll be outmatched. But I gotta deal with the units that are right in my face, and maybe that's why I was so aggressive with these guys. He didn't want me to try to finish off the Rangers with my elite unit. So I go ahead and I charge my my veteran Panzer Grenadiers at these guys since they're standing in the open now. And I've only got 2 assault rifles in there, and there's no submachine gun, so I've got about as many attacks as he does. And but I go first since he's not in any kind of terrain, and so here we go, charge in, and so I grab the dice. I've got like 2 assault rifles, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 10 attacks to about his 8 attacks because I've maybe killed a guy or 2, and I pick up my dice, and everyone auto hits in close combat, and he's regular, so I need 4s, so I should kill 6. Just basic 50% math, and that's what I roll. So I killed 3 guys, and now I'm sick to my stomach because all he needs to do is and he has and can do that where he just rolls some 5s. My guys do need 5s to hurt me, but after I roll that, I'm like, oh, I'm so sick to my stomach. And he throws his dice, and he only rolls 1 5 or 6, so he only kills 1 guy. Oh man, that's great. So I'm able to eliminate that unit. I just kill one of the basic riflemen without a Panzerfaust, and I can consolidate a couple inches over, and I roll a d6 inches, and I roll a 2. So I just kind of shuffle over to the side of this destroyed Panzer. So wow, that was a big deal. So now we still got those Rangers all pinned down in there. I've got his Chafee is gone there because it reseed around the back of that building. I fired 1 Panzerfaust at it on that one turn when I advanced that regular squad out. Fired at his unit, but I can fire at a different target with the Panzerfaust. I fired Panzerfaust at it. That was that unit there. So then he starts to he targets them with the medium howitzer with that spotter up in that building, and I'm half tempted to sniper that son of a bitch because I'm waiting for one of these guys to roll a 6 and eliminate one of my units after it's activated. 2d6 HE shot. But there's mortar. Also tries to fire. That may have been the mortar there. So yeah. So now looks like we're running some of the peripheral units. So go ahead and fire my light howitzer. And don't have a whole lot of targets since I'm not any kind of spotter with a light howitzer. And I just go ahead and aim for these guys. I can see them, but I can't shoot directly because of my unit there. So I fire indirect, needing a 6 and I miss. And then he fires his howitzer in kind for some serious close fire support, danger level fire support. He fires at me, and then he rolls 2, so he misses them. And then we've got some of the over in the countryside of the board. We've got some units. He fails his check with these guys. Yeah, they're regulars, 9, needing a 7 with the 2 pins. Looks like he fails a rally check with his Rangers yet again. I don't know what he rolled, but failed. I moved these light mortared guys up, and I think I plunked a mortar towards those airborne. And then I go ahead and say screw it and advance my armored car. Up here, he goes ahead and activates his fire from his machine gun that's been kind of sitting there quiet, and puts a pin on my armored car. He can't hurt it, but he put a pin on there. which does affect my shooting. -1 to my shooting. When I fire 2 autocannon shots at those guys, I'm able to put a pin on there and kill a guy. And then, oh, it looks like this is his rally attempt. The other one must have been maybe my sniper putting a pin on that unit again. And he tries to rally again, and he yet again fails. He moves his Jeep back a little bit, and that's going to much be the end of the turn. I'm going to take an overview picture here. You can see battle for the bridge, and we'll cut away to a quick video here. Okay, that was the end of turn 3. Very good German turn. You know, when I lost that Panzer, it was like I was happy that it blocked up the road. And then this airborne was getting pressured here. He had moved his squad out of that cover, and he was able to kill exceptionally, shoot off the flamethrower, so that was good for him. But then I had quite a few units here, and that assault, when I rolled so poorly, I thought I was going to lose it. Thank goodness for Veteran. He wasn't able to do, he did 1 wound back to me. So that was pretty big. His Rangers are just getting pin markers all over the place, and the NCO's down, so they're trying to rally. The good thing for him is I keep shooting sniper at him to put pin markers on him. So, but yeah, over here, those guys failed to activate. I got pretty aggressive with my armored car and just kind of getting in there. His medium machine gun put a pin on my armored car, so hopefully I'll be able to activate next turn. But yeah, so looking good for me. But you know, this game can be a little crazy. Who knows what can happen? He still has a tank over there. I have some Panzerfausts and stuff to kind of keep it at bay, but it's still a tank.
Right.
What are you thinking, Alan?
Well, I'm thinking that was a devastating round for me. Lost an infantry unit completely with the assault. Yeah, it's not a good trade. Flamethrower for an entire infantry unit.
That got so close. That got so close to flipping back on me, though. Then it would have been sickening. But
yeah, and just not a good shooting turn for me, with the exception of taking out the flamethrower. That was it.
Well,
I glancing glowed the.
Well, my shooting here wasn't very good either. I mean, it's like I wasn't. It just seems like you should be doing more damage when I move these guys out. And after I did like 1 pin and no wounds, I'm like, hell, I'm just gonna charge them with the other unit.
Right. So, anyway, okay.
That was interesting. The armored car. Chafee, you decided to take it, and I missed horribly. Then you hit me, caught me on fire, but didn't knock it out.
Yeah.
So,
you know, so I was really hoping to blast that like I did the Panzer, but that didn't work out. So we'll see what happens on turn 4.
Turn 4.
Yeah, that's going to be the pinnacle turn.
That's big.
Coming up.
Do or die.
All right. Next turn, he pulls the first dice, and the first order dice start going immediately towards the high concentration of fire area, the heavy fighting in the city portion of the board, and he activates his Chafee. I go ahead and pull a dice out of the bag and go down. Fires a medium machine gun at me, is able to hit and kill a guy, and then he rolls a 1 with his howitzer, so that was nice. And I'm super aggressive with my armored car, toting a medic in it. I wasn't planning to just have the medic float around in this thing or anything. I just got to try to drive that Chafee away from the main board and keep him from away from the bridge area. So I drive it up there, fire my Panzerbusch. He goes ahead and resees out. He wasn't able to get quite far enough away, so I do get a shot, but I need like a 5 or a 6 and I miss. He activates his airborne, and even with all those pin markers, he gets an activation, and he just advances up to point blank, and he's letting the Pioneers have it from point blank range. But you know, with those pin markers and whatnot, he doesn't get a lot of hits, and he doesn't get a lot of wounds. But I've got 3 pins on my guys now, so. Yeah, I was kind of expecting him to charge me and get into close combat. He would have had the first attack. Would have removed the pin markers off of him, and if I had anybody alive, I could have had a few shots back, but but that didn't happen. Looks like for some reason I failed my check on a 10. Normally I'm a 10, minus 3 pin markers is a 7. I got a lieutenant back there with +2, so I needed a 9, and I rolled a 10. So I'm not able to shoot back. I have to go down. And I was very happy though that I'm still alive. Actually, we'll go over here. He go ahead and activates his medium machine gun. And he puts another pin on my armored car. So, you know, I'm hoping to get a turn and try to shoot those infantry, but he gets the turn. He does activate those guys. He passes his check, and he runs towards my armored car, and I go ahead and re-see back. Dual directional steering, wheeled vehicle. I'm able to go all the way back here with my 2 pin markers, and I have to pull a dice out and go down. Here, his lieutenant assaults the vehicle, and is like, okay, I got a medic and an attendant, so I got like a pistol and a guy, and he's got a pistol and a rifle. He gets to go first, and he whiffs. My medic is a veteran, and his lieutenant is a veteran. And on my attacks back, I'm able to get a 5, and I kill a guy, so I win the combat, and I kill his lieutenant. Now we had a rule question there. Had it happen before, so I had to disembark because he assaulted, and then I get a consolidation move up to D6 inches, but I don't believe I can get back in the vehicle. So I don't do that. I just reconsolidate. I roll a couple inches, then I move over to the side of that building. I don't have a picture of it though, but it'd be interesting if I could get back in the vehicle or not. Here it looks like he takes a wound, and I don't remember what from. Might have been my light mortar, needing a 6 to hit. I believe it was. Well, there's lots of dice all over the place, and it's showing my armored car. I believe I was unable to activate it. No, I was already on a down runner, so I don't know what that was. I don't know why I'm showing all these dice. But here, that's my light mortar. Yeah, so you just kind of moved. Can move and still shoot the mortar. Moved over here and fired at the airborne, I believe. And yeah, here this shows my medic there. This is actually a picture of his mortar firing. He's firing at this infantry unit, and he misses with a 3. I think he needed a 6. See my medic there, right next to the Rangers. I've got this. Infantry squad here. Looks like I'm shooting at his airborne. I'm able to flick off 2, needing a 5 to kill those guys, and I don't have a whole lot of shots. Here I fire my howitzer indirectly at those airborne, because I have to fire over my own guys, and I roll 3, so I miss. I believe I needed that. He did advance a little bit, so I stood back to a 6. And there's it must be I don't know. I've got pictures of dice of all these 6s I'm rolling, but I don't remember what they're for now. Oh, that's what they're for. My medic. Those are 2 shots from the medic and the attendant into that building. 2 hits, and I needing a 6 to wound, and I actually pardon my French, I actually kill a couple Rangers. And then his Jeep just kind of drives over here, and that pretty much ends that turn. So yeah, I was sweating bullets about his Ranger or his airborne, but here we go. All right, that was ending of turn 4, and it was kind of a bloodbath for the Americans there. It started off with him going first with his Chafee, and he fired HE at me, and he missed with his howitzer.
Yeah, killed one guy.
Yeah, and I had gone down. Then after that, it was just a lot of him just getting dinked and sniped and rounds and lots of pin markers on that unit, and then finally my lieutenant was able to finish him off. Here, the crazy medic The medic and his attendant fought off his lieutenant, killed him, then ran in there and actually killed 2 Rangers by shooting through the windows, leaving
Wow.
6s to.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get a Iron Cross.
Right.
Maybe I'll have him assault a Chafee and Chafee and kill that tank in hand-to-hand combat. That'd be pretty funny. But what do you think there, allied player?
Well, the paratroopers are, John, they didn't get enough kills on the unit there on the objective to force a morale check. However, my other regular unit rallied, was assaulting the armored vehicle uses out of there. I imagine just to save the dice in a possibility that he would lose the assault combat.
I'd automatically lose it. I hadn't moved yet,
Right.
so you would have hit me on a 4-up. You would have had to pass
yeah.
I think you would have had to take a tank fear check if you went to assault me.
It was an open top, right?
Yeah, so I don't
Yeah,
think
so
you even
no,
have to do
you
that.
don't have to do that.
So
Yeah.
I'm open top, so
Right.
you would, any hits you do to me, I'd just die.
Right.
So that's why I reached you
Yeah,
away.
that's very good.
Yeah.
You know, save the order dice and the unit.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I might have to try to come over here and assist in the center,
Right.
and then my guys excelled.
Yeah,
a lot of
the
sixes.
paratroopers just really took it. You
You know,
know,
beleaguered Rangers, and they're
still there.
yeah, it's
But
like
there's 3
Black
of them.
Hawk Down Rangers.
Yeah.
They've just been in that building, getting
The
shot
house
at.
and mortar has done zero.
Well, you do keep changing targets, so
Right,
it makes
right.
it difficult.
It does make it difficult. Anyhow, okay.
So we're gonna
on
try to
turn 5,
play-
but don't think it's gonna
Yep.
lay down 3 dice, so I'm going to 7.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I still have 10.
Yeah.
All right, going to play turn 5. Let's see how it goes. Turn 5. Start off with a sniper shot at his Rangers, just trying to make sure they stay pinned down. And then my armored car activates, pass my check, and I fire at his howitzer, and I'm able to kill a guy off of there. One of those pin markers is not there. It's because I shot it earlier at his observer or whatever. Here my truck just backs up a little bit. Nobody's inside there. Here I activate my mortar and try to shoot at the infantry squad that's in the field. I'm able to, I don't remember if I hit or not. He's shooting those guys with, I think it's tank, and he kills a bunch of them. And then here he fails to activate these guys, and at that point, when he can't get them any closer to the objective, because if he could, you know, he can't run through the woods, but he could advance into the woods and be in a position for turn 6 to assault the bridge. I don't really have much left up there. Or he could just run around the edge of the woods and get really close to the bridge. But when he fails to activate here, then he's looking at a possible turn. He needs to roll a turn 7. And when he doesn't get that, because he does still have a medium machine gun that has a field of fire on the bridge, but just barely in range with the trees in the way. But yeah, after he doesn't get this to activate, he kind of realizes he's not going to be able to secure the objective, and he just kind of calls it. He fails to rally his Rangers, and after he didn't that, so he just go ahead and call it at that point. And that's the remaining dice that were in the bag. So that's pretty much the end of the game. So yeah, in conclusion, you know, this game, it was another great game centered around basically the kind of the industrial side of the board towards that bridge. I think he just got a little too aggressive. He had quality units over here. Could have pressured the center with a little more shooting. His airborne were just like kind of out open, and you know, duration of just taking pins, being out in the open like that, wears you down. His Rangers never got into the fight at all because they just stayed pinned down in that building the entire time. So yeah, another close combat really kind of decided a lot of the center. when he activated his airborne, and I had those like 4 guys on the road there, I kind of thought I was going to get assaulted back, and that was going to probably be it for me. I did have another small unit of regulars that could have come over to try to assist, but I didn't really have anything left. In the center I had a lieutenant and that unit of regulars, like 5 guys. But that was a great game, very fun. Thanks for watching.